Hello, everyone, and welcome to our interview series with the authors for Dance Adventures, True Stories About Dancing Abroad. I am here today with Miss Tina Shield. Hello, Tina.
Hello.
And she is coming to us from Leeds, England, where she lives with her husband and their daughter, Talia. And Tina wrote an incredible story about Lindy hopping in Leeds, which she'll tell you more about today. But before we dive into that, just a reminder that we're doing these interviews with the authors from the anthology and interviewing almost all of them. There's a couple that weren't available for interviews, but almost everybody's being interviewed. And you can purchase the book at Amazon. If you want to do the e-copy for now, you can pre-order it there. Or if you want to pre-order a hard copy or a soft copy, you can do that on Barnes and Noble. So I will throw the link for those into the chat box below. And Tina, if you want to do that on wherever you're sharing this to, that's great as well.
Yeah, I can do that.
Perfect. Awesome. So let's actually maybe take a moment. I'm going to throw those into the one on my page so people can find it. So I'm just putting up the hardcover and soft cover, and then I'll throw the ebook on. Let's see if I can just find it quickly. Yeah, you shared it to Swing Dance Leeds, so all your people from Swing Dance Leeds are able to see it too. I love it. Oh yeah, here we go. Buy the ebook. So let me just grab this and throw it in. So either way, if y'all want to support the project, you're welcome to get your books there. Buy the ebook. And there we are. So the other cool thing about this is that, oh good, we've got 6 folks watching. Hello folks, welcome to my interview with Tina. Here we are. So the other cool thing about this is that Tina's husband Rob is in the other room teaching a private dance lesson, which is amazing, like so on brand. And, you know, Tina, tell us a little bit about your story.
Okay. So my story is called Lindy Hop Love Story, and it's about, I moved to England about 10 years ago, not to study dance, but to do a master's course. And I was already a keen Lindy Hopper. If for anybody that doesn't know, Lindy Hop is the original swing dance. It was an African-American dance that came out of the ballrooms in Harlem in the 20s and 30s. And it's unlike a lot of partner dances, it's not sort of codified. There's not a certification board or anything. It's very much about social dancing, connecting with a partner, improvisation, and putting your own kind of voice into the dance. And that's what I really love about it, is just this improvising with lots of different partners and dancing with lots of people. So I was really hoping when I moved to England that there would be a community of dancers here. And I was pleased that there was a small Lindy Hop community in Leeds. And first event I went to, everyone was really welcoming, and I made lots of friends and met a young guy called Rob, who became my friend and then my dance partner, and then eventually we've been married about 7 years now. So yeah, it's just kind of about our story and how we got together and some of the things that I think dancing has brought to our relationship. Sort of the early days of working through arguments and disagreements about dancing have now like made things easier for us as in our real life as well.
And props to y'all, because it's not always the case that someone can, you know, really get up above the argument, look at, like what's going on in the argument, and then make both their dance partnership and their romantic relationship better. I feel like I just want to virtually high five you.
We're not perfect at it. It's still a work in progress, but we've learned a lot of lessons along the way, I think.
I love that. I love that. And, you know, well, for anybody watching too, fun fact, Tina and I both first learned Lindy Hop in Seattle. So shout out to our Seattle folks out there. But, you know, since then, Tina, you've lived and danced abroad in so many different places, including being in the Peace Corps twice. And, you know, what advice would you give to other women who want to travel and dance, maybe even as solo female travelers?
So I would definitely recommend that anybody try solo traveling if you're thinking about it, even if you're a woman, because I think it opens up so many fantastic opportunities to really connect with people and a place and really see it on a deeper level than you would get to if you're with a group or even just with one other person, because you're sort of open and you're alone, and it just opens up a lot of possibilities, I think. But it's about striking a balance. And for me, I want to leave myself open to trust people and to have those wonderful experiences and make connections, but still keep myself safe. And I do that by trying to kind of get an understanding of the kind of cultural norms of the place that I'm visiting. So I'll research, like, do they eat with a certain hand? Do you need to take your shoes off? How do I dress to be respectful in that place? Do I need to make sure my knees are covered or my shoulders, or do people dress up when they're out in public? And just kind of having an understanding of those things is going to help me seem like a more respectful visitor, and also make me more approachable, because if people think that I am there to really understand what's going on and I've made an effort, it'll open me up to more experiences like that, but also keep me safer. And then on top of that, I'll sort of keep an eye on what spaces are safe for women and what spaces aren't safe for women, either by researching that beforehand or just by noticing, if I think about going someplace and there's no women there, I'm probably not going to go there. And then I think also just noticing how people interact with each other, how people interact with someone of the opposite gender, how people interact with friends, how close they stand, how they greet each other. Because understanding what's a normal way to interact will help me catch red flags of what isn't normal. So those are all the things I do to keep myself safe. And then beyond that, I can be really trusting, and that is a wonderful place to be.
I love that. It's like, do your homework, cover your bases so that
Yeah.
you can go in and be as open as possible while still being safe. And I really appreciate your input as a woman who's traveled to so many different places. Europe, yes. United States, yes. And also the Peace Corps twice in Africa, in Morocco and Niger.
Yeah, but I've traveled all around West Africa and Central Europe and Central America and some of Asia as well. So and mostly on my own. I've done a lot of solo traveling, and that's what keeps me safe everywhere. And I've made a lot of friends, and been able to still have fun experiences and to trust people.
I love that. I mean, same for me too, as a lot of my favorite dance adventures have happened when I've gone alone, because you're there, you're by yourself, and how do you make friends? You dance. And people will scoop you up and adopt you as like their dance friends and invite you out. And really, it's the times where I've traveled alone where I've been the most impressed with kindness and openness of others. So I love everything you're saying, and people are kind and open, and we have to be safe.
Yeah, it's a balance.
Yeah, it's definitely a balance. So part of your story at the end is you share that you and Rob had a baby girl together. And I've heard babies in the swing community been referred to as swing babies, like adorable children that were born. Yeah, parents.
Definitely a swing baby. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what it's been like to raise your child in the Lindy Hop community in England.
Yeah, so she's 3.5 now. She's in bed now because it's 9 o'clock here. So she's sleeping. And yeah, we don't have any family that live nearby because my family's in America and Rob's family is in Wales. And so she really just comes everywhere with us. So we've taken her to dances, and she has been in all of our classes until she was about 2. And I think it's been a really fun novelty for people. I started teaching again when she was about 4 months old. So I carry her in a sling on my front, and then eventually she had a little area in the corner. But I think she was a really good icebreaker for beginners and give them something to focus on other than being nervous. And yeah, mostly we just get a lot of positive feedback. People just think she's a fun novelty to have in the room. We haven't been able to teach live classes since March because of the pandemic. And she just turned 3 when we went into lockdown. And at that point, she was definitely wanting to give people feedback in the class and wanting to demonstrate the moves. So that's where we're at now. And it was just starting to be a problem. So I think we've escaped that.
So she's almost 3. What can she, like, can
3
she
and a half.
swing out? Can she do, the moves?
So she can do a lot of jazz steps. She can do a mean Shorty George, and she can do tacky Annies, and she knows the names and she knows the kind of shapes of them. She can kind of swing out, but she mostly just likes to spin around in circles. So it's not she's not quite ready for her first competition or anything yet. But
who can blame her? Who doesn't love spinning around in circles?
She likes dancing and she loves swing jazz, and that's been really fun to just have a style of music that we can all enjoy listening to together. And
Yes.
she just busts out some great tunes on the street, and it's pretty adorable.
I love that so much. And then, what did you appreciate most about your writing process for Dance Adventures?
So I think probably what I enjoyed most was the challenge that I was given to specifically look at aspects of cultural appropriation that might come up with my story specifically as a white teacher teaching a Black dance form. And just that process of needing to go through and making sure that in the story we were sharing enough of the history and the roots of the dance to kind of make it clear what Lindy Hop is and where it's come from, and also talking about how we're trying to do that in our own classes, because it's something that is very much a work in progress for us right now, and something that we're really kind of focused on at the moment, just doing a better job of making sure that we represent that side of things to our students. And it feels good to have it in writing and to sort of reinforce that commitment that we're already making. So yeah.
Yeah, we're so grateful to our prospective consultant, Dr. LaToya Brackett at the University of Puget Sound, who read through all of the stories and gave incredible feedback and helped us see blind spots. We all have blind spots, and it's just a question of whether we are willing to go figure out where they are, figure out how to represent dances and cultures with the utmost respect and care, and always acknowledging where they come from and the original teachers. And it's a question that's so big right now in the Lindy Hop community and other communities where the roots of the dance came from Black, African American communities. So that was a really special part of it. And I'm so appreciative that you and the other authors were so open to iterating and editing and adding things in. So my final question for you is, where can people go to learn more about Lindy Hop and to learn more about Lindy Hop in Leeds, England, where you live and teach?
Well, a good resource for just finding out about the dance in general is the Frankie Manning Foundation. It's a website, frankiemanningfoundation.org, and it sort of carries on the legacy of Frankie Manning, who was one of the original and most famous Lindy Hoppers, and he was a big part of the revival as well, and taught until he was well into his 90s. And so this website has lots of information about the history of Lindy Hop and the original Lindy Hoppers, and lots of old clips with good kind of context about what they are, and links to his book and stuff. So I'd recommend that one, and also Swung Over, which is a blog by a newer dancer, but he's been dancing for probably 30 years or something. So he's been around a long time and has a ton of stuff on his blog about, modern Lindy Hop back in the day, all kinds of good stuff on there. And then our website is swingdanceleeds.com, and all of our classes are online right now. So you can take classes from us if you want. We're not doing any partnered classes at the moment, so it'll just be Rob that you'll see. You won't see me. But we do live streaming classes on a Saturday and a Wednesday on Facebook Live, so you can check those out if you like.
Wonderful. So again, Tina is one of our amazing authors for Dance Adventures, which is now available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble for pre-order. It'll be out in time for Christmas, so the books will be sent out December 1st. And here's her story, a Lindy Hop love story from England. And one thing that we put in the back of all of the stories that I just love so much is a list of recommended resources. So this is if you want to take your education further. It does have the book that Tina mentioned.
It's
And
probably all the same resources.
yes, the Frankie Manning Foundation, and lots of other really great resources for folks to check out. So thank you so much for being with us, Tina. It's a pleasure to chat with you.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm. And